When did you like really decide to go business route with the skills that you were developing and all of that new?
About 2017
Okay.
when I started really making those decisions that it was like, okay, this is, I have no the F clue what I'm doing, but,
Yeah.
but this is for me. Like I want it all. I want the whole future and vision and imagination that I can see, that I can feel. And this is the first step towards that. And
Nice.
that was, I think, when I invested in my first course, went to my first live event. 2018 was when I made my like LLC and created a business name and all of those little pieces.
Yeah.
2019 was when I hosted my first live in-person retreat. And yeah, I've just been serving clients since 2018.
Cool. Okay. I had to ask because it to me also for listeners, like I hear this all the time with the people I work with. And we know this, from the success leaves clues ideology of like, okay, the reason people succeed is because they don't give up, right? And the reason people fail is
Yeah.
because they give up too soon. And when you go, okay, you've been like at it since 2017 and you still have ups and downs, I'm sure, and you're learning the ropes and the learning curve is somewhat steep when you
Every
become
single
an
day.
entrepreneur,
Yes.
right? So it's like
Yeah.
2017 and I go, that's not that long. And when you're in it,
Right.
it
It's
feels
really
like
not.
forever because you're like, I want the instant success.
Because you kind of think back to like the memory of, okay, being in 2014 and being that girl that was sitting there angry. Oh my God, the anger, like
Yeah.
killing me. So angry and cynical and like out of the world's against me, and I so just all of the things, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's a waste of energy. How silly, and you think that it's been 6 years maybe since that kind of
Yeah.
first moment, and then I'm like, well, why don't I have these things on my IMDb yet? Why don't I have this amount of revenue that I have my goals? Like all of it, all of it is that next little step. Like I you can't get to like I'm so excited. I work for myself now full time. That was could 2014 sad angry version of me imagine that,
Yeah. Yeah.
not having to wake up in the morning for someone else and to go to some dark, dingy tuberculosis hospital correctional facility and serve a bunch of sex offenders. Like, what a transition. And I wouldn't be able to get to this place without all of those other little steps and levels and investing. I mean, all the courses and the coaches and the like fire hose of information, but you cannot stay in that stage of just receiving the information. It has to be like information, do it, information, do it. And you're
Yeah.
implementing and you're practicing. And that's going to be the thing that presents whatever the next step and the next level is for you.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
so true. So much wisdom there. I was having a conversation with someone about the process of perfection because a lot of
Oh,
us get stuck in perfectionism and we realize
waste of time.
it, right? Because it takes
Stop.
you clarifying over and
Yeah.
over to get to the perfection. Like perfection is a process. And then it's never
Yeah.
going to be totally perfect either, right?
I always kind of think of it like this, where, okay, if you have a checklist of, I think there's some examples someone made in like a TED Talk or something that made sense, where it's, okay, if you have a safety checklist that you have to go through before you fly an airplane, that is a numbered thing you can go through. You had better make sure that checklist is 100% perfect and
Yeah.
checked off. Like that is a measurable thing that you
Mm-hmm.
can ensure is perfect.
Yeah.
When you're referencing like perfectionism in I don't know, your business, your life, you're like that is an organic living creature. It's subjective. It is constantly evolving. It is constantly in motion. There is no like, where's that base? What are you going to land
Right.
on?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's a
stop
moving
chasing
target,
that.
like a constant moving
Yeah,
target. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and
It's always evolving.
when you said that about the airplane checklist, the interesting thing is that checklist was built over time, like
Yeah.
accidents and like right, like, and then you go,
Even the
oh, we need to add this
oh,
to the checklist now. Oh, now we
like
need to
that
add
went
life
wrong.
rafts. Oh,
Yeah.
it's the same thing, and it's just I think we have,
True.
I always think about perfection as this one-sided expectation of awesomeness. Like it's all going to be
Mm.
awesome, right? And anytime we set ourselves up for that, we're going to experience a perception of loss, failure, mistakes, you know, instead of going like, oh, the you know, perceived loss, mistakes, failures are actually what are helping me verify to get better and better and better at what I do.
Yeah. Otherwise, quite literally, how else would you learn and improve? You know, the clients that I work with, I'm like, you must have some desire in you to strive for excellence. I have very much an expectation of excellence where we're not going to settle for something being bad, you know, but we need to have it be good enough to keep moving forward, because our good enough as we move forward keeps getting better, keeps getting better, keeps getting better.
Yeah.
It's like, that's where the magic is.
Yeah.
But without taking those steps forward.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I want to talk video, and it's like when I did those when I did those first videos, it was like that. It was like, I created a mantra for myself that I teach my clients. It's screw perfection, just get started. Screw perfection, just get started. Because like, that's one thing that's plagued me in my past is perfectionism and wanting it to be like every detail to be perfect and this and that. I would never be where I am today and have gotten here as quickly as I did if I got stuck in perfectionism, because it's never going to be perfect. Someone is always going to judge it as imperfect. Someone's always going to be ahead of me. I'm always going to be a few steps ahead of someone else. So it's like, stop comparing yourself to other people. Get it out there. I mean, I've made all kinds of blunders in videos and in my copy, and you know, it's just like, I go, screw it, just get it out there and start making a difference in the world and doing you, and you'll learn as you go. And you know, it's like, probably when I look back at this moment 3 years from now, I'll be like, oh, I could have done better here and here and here. And it's the same as when I look back at my first videos, but if I had never started, I wouldn't be anywhere. There
would be nothing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if we want to shorten that learning curve, that's when we implore the help and the guidance of somebody who is a few steps ahead of us.
Yes.
Instead of sitting there and comparing ourselves to them and being like, oh, well, mine isn't like that. I can't do that. Hire them, have them help you.
Right.
Like, learn that stuff, shorten that learning curve.
Yeah.
And I actually, one of the things that I teach is we need to just get started, right? But with video, there is a point of caution, because simply the advice to, you know, put your first one out there and then just keep practicing, there is the potential that can hurt you, because if you're continuously reinforcing habits that are not going to serve you, then you're not actually improving anything. So we want to learn some of the foundation. I mean, it's like if you're at the gym and you're continuously using the machine wrong, in the wrong form, you're going to create an injury. And so the injury that can happen with video is that your authentic personality and brand and your branding message isn't going to come across to your audience in a way that they can receive it and actually use attraction marketing, become magnetic to the right people that you want to bring in. So it's like, learn how to use the equipment correctly, right? In a way that's going to serve you, so that you can like jump in, get started, learn how to do it in a way that's going to serve you. And it's still going to be rusty. I mean, you're still going to be like, okay, I can only lift like 2 pounds. Like, I still feel really weird at this machine. And then you just keep going and you just keep practicing, but you're practicing and enabling those good habits and behaviorisms and patterns that are going to serve you and just draw in your audience and actually, you know, help your business grow and expand and evolve to the next level.
This is so good. To listen to the full episode, head on over to nfacoaching.com, hit the podcast link, and it'll take you to all of the full episodes. And go ahead and leave some comments. I'd love to hear from you, to know how these inspirational interviews, tips, and tools are impacting you in your life and business. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any of the Max Potential Habits episodes.